the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Have a brief moment of silence. Okay, thanks guys. And I guess I didn't do this for the first time. We'll call the meeting to order. All right. So our first order of business, the first agenda item is actually public comments. Please note that public comments are limited to 3 minutes per person, and if you're on the phone and would like to make a comment, please press *9. Otherwise, you can press the raise hand button on your Zoom screen. Carrie, are there any public comments awaiting us? I'm getting a head shake. No. Okay. So we will move on to our first order of business, which is our consent agenda. And this evening's consent agenda includes our meeting minutes from August 9th, as well as my appointment to the Sykesville Parks and Recreation Commission, which I'm very excited about, of Amanda Stevens, and her term will expire in April 2023. So, assuming we have no questions for the consent agenda, speak now or hold your peace. May I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Thank you,
Second.
Councilman Grassley. Thank you, Jeremiah. All in favor, please say aye. Is the hand raised?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. And I should have mentioned that Councilwoman Lisa Guroff is joining us via Zoom, and we have a unanimously approved consent agenda. Next item of business is to consider, discuss, and act upon the KCI contract for engineering services. And we'll turn it over to Joe to bring us up to speed on that.
Again, just a general services agreement here with KCI Technologies. So for the longest time, the town had a working agreement with our town, longtime town engineer Bob Bond. Since his passing back in 2019, we've not had an official town engineer. We have actually started working with KCI shortly after his passing. They've done some general inspection work, particularly over at Warfield. They've done some plan review for us, so we've already started to build that relationship. With this general services agreement, we're really just solidifying that relationship with them so that if anybody does ask who's the town engineer, we actually have an answer now. So again, there was a question asked earlier about why contract with a firm instead of hiring somebody, and again, it is because of the limited work that we have with engineering services. It's better just to have a contract with a firm rather than having an individual here at Town Hall, plus the expense alone would be quite a bit cheaper with just this general services agreement.
We appreciate that. Thank you, Joe. I'm going to ask for a motion unless there's comments, questions.
I'll have a motion to approve the general service agreement with KCI Technologies as presented.
Thank you, Councilman Grassley.
Second.
And the second is from Councilman Mark Dyer. And before I call for a vote, are there any other comments or concerns?
So not a comment, not a concern maybe, but just a question. Will KCI be able to handle both the infrastructure money that we've received, I guess we've received 1.5 something million now, we'll receive another in the spring, another 1.5 million, and then as well as some of the planning efforts that we're looking to do as part of the master comp plan? Well, is that the idea?
Well, the idea is really just for their basic services, again, inspections, plan review, things like that. For bigger projects such as, we'll just take Sandusky as an example, the Sandusky lot. If we wanted to go and really study that site and engineer it, we could go with KCI, or we could actually just do a separate RFP or request for qualifications and select an individual firm that's just dedicated to that one project.
Thank you.
Good question. Thank you, Jeremiah. Anyone else?
So, Joe, is KCI used to working with the Carroll County also? They're pretty familiar with it?
They are. They're familiar with it. They actually do plan review for other municipalities here in Carroll County.
Okay.
I don't know if they have like a general services agreement like we're going to have, but they have worked with other municipalities as well as Carroll County.
Okay.
Thank you, Al. Anyone else? Okay, I'll call for a vote on the motion to approve this. All in favor?
Aye.
Great. So that's a unanimous. I'll just say it out loud. Any opposed? There's no one left. So that's a unanimous passage of that motion. Next item of new business is to consider, oh, am I supposed to do this too? Motion passed.
Why not?
Good.
Yeah, why
not? Next item of new business is to consider, discuss, and act upon awarding a contract for the linear trail repair. And Joe will bring us up to speed on that as well, please.
So this project was let out to bid back in August, and we received no bids for the project. So we did actually have to go out and solicit individual bids from interested firms, or actually, ask people to submit. We were able to get White Pine Paving to submit a quote in a bid, so we don't really have anything to compare it to. But again, just like the previous item, we did have KCI review their bid and make sure the costs that they were proposing were in fact in line with, I guess, best practices right now, or other projects of similar size. So we're comfortable going with White Pine Paving. Again, this is a long-needed repair to the linear trail right there off Brandenburg Circle. The funds that are going to be used to pay for this project is actually a project open space grant that we received last year. It was roughly $80,000. This will take up the majority of it, but anything left over, we will work with our Spark Commission to hopefully upgrade the workout stations there along the linear trail. Those are pretty dated. But again, staff is comfortable moving forward with this particular project with White Pine Paving. We do know that they need roughly 2 weeks of lead time, and they think the project will be less than a week to complete. So the faster we get them going, the quicker we get the trail repaired and back in working order.
Makes sense. Any questions for Joe?
I have a question or comment, if you could explain the length of the project, meaning that where is it going to start and where is it going to end?
Yeah, so it's really, if everybody knows where you enter the linear trail from Brandenburg Circle, it's roughly 600 linear feet within that span. And again, if you've ever walked a linear trail, you pretty much know where that washout happens. It's
Yes.
pretty noticeable when you go down there. So again, there's roughly 600 linear feet. Some of it will be milled up completely and removed. Other areas will just be, retopped. And there will be some drainage improvements around that area as well to hopefully prevent that washout from happening in the future.
And it's going to remain that 4 feet?
Yes. Yeah, there's no plan to actually expand the trail, widen the trail.
Okay. I just wanted in public comment.
I appreciate that. Thank you, Council President. And do we have a motion to, let me just do it this way. Is there a motion to approve the linear trail repair contract to White Pine Paving Incorporated in the amount not to exceed $55,000 and authorize the mayor to sign all necessary documents to begin the project?
So moved.
Thank you.
Second.
All right, so Council President Carter makes the motion and Councilman Leo Keenan seconds it. Any further comments or questions?
One more question. The equipment, is that going to come under a different contract?
It will. It will not be a part of the repair work that they're doing.
So,
And I have
Go
another
ahead,
question.
please.
So, I mean, Joe, they've worked for us before, right? These people, they've done linear trail. Have they done linear trail work before?
I don't know if they've done work for the town. They've done work within Carroll County for other municipalities.
Okay.
okay. So we'll call for a vote. All in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Excellent. That means unanimous approval of that motion. And since Joe doesn't like the bag, I'm just going to do it like this. So that brings us to, I believe, yes, that brings us to our announcements. I'll begin with the announcement of our next Mayor and Town Council meeting is scheduled for Tuesday, October 13th.
It's actually the 12th.
12th, of course, yes. Tuesday is the 12th. Because the holiday is Monday, so we're holding it on the 12th on Tuesday, 2021. We also have volunteer opportunities available on the Historic District Commission, the Board of Zoning Appeals, Police Auxiliary, and Crossing Guard. If you are listening or know of anyone who's interested, please contact the town by email at town@sykesville.net for more information about these volunteering opportunities. That moves us to staff updates, and I'll give the mic back to Joe.
Thank you, Mayor. Just a few quick ones here. I do just want to acknowledge that the paving project that was awarded, I guess at our last council meeting, went very well. Again, they estimated about a week to complete the project, and it was a week. They were rolling pretty good in here. So I do want to say just thank you to Derek Shreves, who kind of coordinated everything and made sure that that project kept moving, and then of course to Jem's Paving and Tommy and his crew They did a really good job. We didn't get any phone calls about the project itself, other than maybe from a council member. But again, I think overall it did go very well. We do have to acknowledge that when we were preparing for that project, and again, this was a staff issue. Matter of fact, it was my issue. When we did the estimate for the tonnage that was going to be required for that project, we actually used the wrong section of a street. So again, that was on me. So the actual cost of the project was a little higher than what we had originally approved. So I think we approved 85,000 or around that mark. The actual tonnage, and again, they did keep with the per ton rate, but it was actually more like $130,000. So again, we were off on the estimate. That was again my error on the estimating there. But we were able to confirm that we did get all of that asphalt. It wasn't just an issue with the contractor or anything. Do want to put something on everybody's radar. So we have asked, we've been in communication with folks from Warfield about a follow-up work session to hopefully get, I guess, more specific ideas for what they want to put out there based on the information that was given before. So we have tentatively scheduled October 25th for that workshop. I know I just got an email from another council member here that might not be in town for October 25th. So again, I apologize for that. But again, right now it's tentative. We're waiting to get confirmation back from the Warfield folks. But if we can put that on everybody's books, we'll confirm that hopefully soon. And then a few other reminders. The Municipality Conference is coming up October 10th through the 12th. It's just down the road in Turf Valley. So again, they're right in our backyard. The more people that can go, the better. And then we did receive word today that the Lieutenant Governor will be making a visit to Sykesville on October 4th. So we'll dress appropriately for the Lieutenant Governor.
Awesome.
And that's all I have.
Thank you, Joe. I just want to point out that Craig, our treasurer, is here to answer any questions that might be lingering from our review of the treasurer's report that was provided to us 2 weeks ago. If anyone has any questions that they haven't already addressed with him. Okay. Thanks for being here, Craig.
My pleasure.
And that brings us to our chief of police. Is he? There he is. Hi, Chief Spalding. Can you share with us your your public safety report, please?
Yeah, I'm sorry I couldn't be there with you in person tonight. We're looking forward to being back there in the room with you.
Next meeting. Let's talk about the public safety report covering September 7th through the 20th. As you'll see, it's not a real big one. Unlike last, I guess 2 weeks ago, we had a very large public safety report. But this one's a little smaller. Total 338 events. Just some of the highlights. 12 assist other agency, 7 community policing events, 200 patrol checks, 19 traffic enforcement initiatives. Again, a total 338 events. You'll notice on the second page of your packet, you'll see we also handled 12 incident reports during that time frame. And I'd be more happy to answer any questions you may have about those.
Go around the table. Go ahead, Leo.
Yeah, Chief, I do have one. Item number 181, the damage to the auxiliary vehicle.
Yeah. That was just 4 scratches that they observed. I've asked all the officers to always check the vehicle before and after every tour of duty. Our auxiliary lieutenant, I believe, checked the vehicle after working at a farmer's market and noticed there was 4 scratches on the passenger side view mirror. Relatively minor. They can probably be buffed out, but as per our policies, he's required to report it.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you. Councilman Grassley, any questions for
I had some questions earlier in the week that the chief answered. So just to carry over on that, I did have some questions for Craig earlier in the week too. So do you want me to just start copying everybody in on those questions, or?
I think it makes sense if it's questions that, and obviously we know we can't have a full-on discussion, but if you've got questions and Craig can reply all, that would be great for us to have that information.
Yeah, I mean, actually this time, Craig, we just had a phone call.
Oh, okay.
We just went through. So I'll start copying. I mean, it's usually just minor stuff, but I will start doing that.
Okay, that's great. Thank you.
So, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Chief. Were you going to say something?
Well, if there's no other questions, I did want to point out that, we always do a lot of patrol checks, and you'll notice on the list of incident reports, in 2 cases, our officers did patrol checks and actually discovered an open window at Warfield. And in the second instance, a patrol check by Officer Slayer resulted in actually catching 3 individuals that were on the grounds of Warfield. We don't believe they entered any of the buildings, but they were on the grounds, obviously trespassing. So again, patrol checks pay off. That's the way we cover the town and keep an eye on everything, and the officers are doing a great job.
Thank you, I appreciate that very much. The patrol checks and the update. And I think Councilman Jeremiah Schofield has a question for you, Chief.
I do, Chief. So on number 182 and 183, it looks like a very similar sort of event, potentially unfortunate. And I'm wondering if there's any lessons learned through that process, or did something happen there? Just
I mean, it was the same subject. We got a call for the initial overdose. Our officer responded along with EMS. They administered Narcan. He refused treatment, so there was really nothing we can do at that point. EMS helped him back into bed, and we left. Unfortunately, a short time later, he was again found to be unconscious. Again, we were called. Again, Narcan was administered. This time, they took him to the hospital. I guess he agreed to go the second time, but we handed out the behavioral health brochure, the resources. We responded both times, and it's really more of an EMS call than it is ours. We're just there to keep the peace and to assist EMS. So really not a whole lot that we could do differently, quite honestly. But I agree with you, very, very sad set of circumstances.
Yeah, thank you for your part in it and doing everything that you could. I also just wanted to thank, and maybe you could thank Officer Darby for the community policing. So thank you very much. I noticed a number of different events that they did. I just want to call that out in the public and say thank you. That's all I had, Mayor.
He continues to be a rock star in community policing. He's just exceeded all our expectations, and we're very lucky to have him.
At this point, it's like he's showing off. No, he's amazing, and our Main Street merchants are singing his accolades every time I speak with someone, so pass that along to him as well. Thank you. Any other questions for Chief? Great. Thanks. Is there anything else from you, Chief?
Just real quickly, speaking of other rock stars, I did want to point out that our recruit officer, Annalise Young, has completed her first week of academy training. She's doing a great job. We're keeping close contact with her, and they've already had 4 or 5 recruits drop out of the academy already, and thankfully she is not one of them. And from all the reports we're getting so far, she's very determined and committed, and we have confidence in her that she'll graduate in 6 months and be a full-time member of our police department. So keep her in your thoughts and your fingers crossed for her, because she's got a long road ahead of her, but we're confident she's going to do fine.
We will sure do that. Thank you, Chief. Go ahead.
Chief, how long is her training?
It's a 6-month academy. Yep.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
6 months. Yeah, it's a long academy. Thankfully, they get to go home at night. I wasn't so fortunate when I went through the State Police Academy. It's a live-in academy, so you're stuck there sometimes 2 weeks on end without leaving, cut off from the outside world. So that can be quite challenging for a young person. But fortunately, she gets to go home in the evenings, and she's doing a great job so far. So we're very proud of her. Looking forward to going to her graduation at the end of this and pinning her badge on her and having her join our team.
Absolutely. Send her our thoughts and our well wishes.
Absolutely.
Sure will. Thank you.
I just wanted to mention something to you, Chief, as well. I think it was late 2019 that the council passed a noise ordinance. And I know at that time we spoke about the need for the proper equipment to actually measure the noise in decibels. And I don't believe that we've had further discussion about that, at least as a council. And I don't believe that equipment's yet been purchased. Is that true?
That's correct.
So I want to talk about that at some point. I just find town to has just incessant. There are 3 or 4 repeat offenders with respect to very, very loud revving cars at very, very random morning times and evenings. And I've gotten several complaints from my neighbors because it's happening right on Spout Hill Road. And it's happening almost every weekday morning and evening by one of two people, or both. I should say one or two vehicles. It's not the people making the noise. So anyway, I just wanted to bring that up, and I want to talk about that amongst the council about perhaps getting that equipment approved.
I think it would be a valuable tool for us to have. Again, it does involve training of the officers as well as the purchase of the equipment, but be certainly more than happy to talk to you about that.
All right, thank you. I appreciate it.
I have a question about that then.
Yes.
There was an article in the local Carroll County Times about how the sheriff is concerned with that. I wonder if that, I hate to use the S word in the ladies' presence, but could there be a synergy there where we work with them to use their equipment temporarily while we get our own?
If you're asking me, sir, I don't think that they would be willing to loan us that equipment unless they had extras. And I think there's an issue there with training on the equipment and being certified in it, much like our preliminary breath testing equipment. So I don't know if that would be an option, but it's certainly something I could look into just to be sure.
I have learned in being older, I've learned that by asking, sometimes the answer is no, but sometimes I get the sure, why not?
Never hurts to ask.
Thank you, Chief. So that brings us to council and committee reports. Does anyone have any specific updates to share with the public or regarding the commissions for which they are liaisons?
Mine is very brief. Finally, we're having an HDC meeting via Zoom on Wednesday at 7 o'clock. I believe an announcement has been sent out. If you want to attend, we have a continuation of 1 application and 2 no.
Great, thank you.
I have one as well. The Planning Commission met on September 7th. The primary discussion was in reference to a Stonehouse restaurant site plan, which is just up the road on Sandusky, and then you go up College. It's a pretty exciting project. There's plans for a 2,000 square foot restaurant, and then just above that, 1,100 square foot residential location. It's not a historic site, but I would recommend that council members, if you haven't gone up and taken a look at that home that's there, it's going to be turned into a restaurant, and one of the things that they're going to be serving is pizza. They're going to do they're going to be, I'm forgetting, it's like a pizza oven, brick oven pizza. It's a really nice property, a little over 3 acres. There's a natural amphitheater to it. The owner of the property has some really great ideas, and they want to continue to work with the town in reference to how to kind of open up that property and make it mutually beneficial for the benefit of the town residents as well as for the business itself. So there's probably going to be some more things that are happening in reference to conversations over the next months ahead. And the tentative plan, I don't want to quote anything in particular, but it's springtime next year is kind of the thought in terms of when it might be opening. There was some other business that was discussed, but that was the primary business of the meeting. The next Planning Commission meeting is next Monday, 7 o'clock.
Thank you. And if anybody's lived here long enough to identify that structure, it was at one point called, and for a long time called, the Mission or Mission Store.
I was just going to mention that.
Yeah. Thank you. Anyone else?
I think Lisa has something else.
Oh, Lisa, is your hand raised?
I have something.
It is. I have an update from Spark. October 2nd, we've got music in the park at Miller Cooper. And October 9th, we have the movie in the park, Nightmare Before Christmas.
Thank you. And we lost your video, so I'm just assuming that you're finished.
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, good. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
And I just like to mention, Saturday I went to Hunter Harris's Court of Honor, Eagle Court of Honor, and represented the town. So he had citations from the town, from Carroll County, from the state delegate, from the governor's office. So it was a nice affair. So hopefully I represented Sykesville well.
I'm sure you did, Councilman Grassley. Thank you for doing that.
No
for
problem.
us.
No
I
problem.
really appreciate it.
That's not a problem.
Really do.
Thank you.
And,
Thanks for the certificate and the flag.
Absolutely. Mom did touch all the bases, and it sounds like everyone stepped up, so that's nice
Yeah.
for Hunter's sake. Very good.
Absolutely.
And I'm sure he deserved it. Okay,
I've got
thank you. Go ahead, Ian.
Main Street.
Oh, sorry, man.
That's okay. DSC. So committee updates from DSC. The Green Committee received a grant for $5,000 for a cigarette littering prevention program, which will be used for stand-up and pole cigarette butt receptacles all along Main Street. They also participated in Sparks Cleanup Day on September 18th, and also received a $5,000 grant for Healing the Planet that will be used for some of the Little Sykes Railroad, Sykesville Pottery Center, and the town area. Promotions Farmers Market is getting into its last couple Sundays. Trick or Treat on Main Street is October 23rd, and that's posted on Facebook. We got the Bubbles and Tool event coming up soon. We're trying to get tickets sold for that. Craft Beer Festival planning ongoing and under control. Let's see, Organization Committee. There was a bench dedication for Donna Box that took place. That was back in August. Mayor Link introduced that. That was for Donna Box for her 24 years of community service. Looking for volunteers for the Bubbles and Tool event. And a meeting was scheduled with Julie and the new administrator of the Gatehouse Museum to work a partnership and relationship with them. And Economics still working on a job fair, creating a haunted Sykesville story map, and working with the Carroll Media Center to add audio to the historic story map. And then I think it was last week when texts were done about the video. Joe, did you participate in that at all? The video on Main Street?
Oh, the satellite meetings one.
Mm-hmm.
I did not participate.
Okay.
I can speak to that.
Very well aware of it.
Yeah. Well, and just I'll step back one step. The Bubbles and Tool is Saturday, October 9th.
Thank you.
You're welcome, sir. At 12 noon. And we are still looking for volunteers. The Downtown Sexual Connection is looking for volunteers, as Councilman Keenan just announced. And again, that is from noon to 4 or 5? 4. Noon to 4 on Saturday, October 9th. And I don't know if you announced the date, but the Craft Beer Festival this year is November 13th. Cool. Thank you, Councilman Keenan. I thought of something I was going to say, otherwise you just mentioned.
Satellite media tour.
Yes, thank you. So Main Street was closed from the wee hours of the morning until noon on Tuesday, was that, Joe? And the production that was going on was a good opportunity for Sykesville to once again be in the public eye. Our Main Street was used as a stage, if you will, for the all of the promotional material that's going to show on the Independent We Stand's website as they introduce and promote the Best Main Street in America contest for 2021, which Sykesville's Main Street won in 2020. And they were here to present that, ceremoniously present the $25,000 check to the Downtown Sykesville Connection at our 4th of July parade. And they realized just how legitimately cool our Main Street and our town is, and all of the people that came out for the parade inspired them to come back and use our Main Street and give us that spotlight in their promotional materials for this year's contest. So I just wanted to bring to the attention of anyone that knew that it was closed but didn't know what was going on. It was a worthy event, and thank you everyone for your patience and the detouring, and thanks to our auxiliary police and to Chief for that road closure and supporting it. So.
I got one more thing. Lisa kind of skipped over the cleanup in the park, but Joe and Derek showed up 2 weeks ago on a Saturday.
The 18th.
Anyway, so it was quite apparent that there wasn't enough mulch to finish the job, and Derek made some phone calls and called in a favor, and he got another how many tons of mulch did we
I
spread?
don't know exactly how many tons.
Too many
It
tons.
was 3 truckloads, dump truckloads.
We
So-
call that ad hoc mulch.
Ad hoc mulch. So,
Yeah.
but it was very nice. He showed up just in time, and we were able to finish the job at Beach Park. I know there was other things going around, but that was there was a lot of mulch to be spread. So thank you for that. Thank you, Derek, for getting that done on the fly. So
I'd like to thank Public Works for being out last Wednesday morning for the trash pickup during that torrential rain that we had overnight Tuesday into Wednesday. I was shocked and impressed that they were out at their normal time in that rain. That was amazing.
Yeah, that was recycling pickup day, and I would encourage all residents to not put out your cardboard when it's downpouring, because unfortunately then the cardboard can't be recycled. Just saying, just putting that out there. Hold on to it for a week until we get those bins with the lids, and then everybody can set everything out as early as they want the night before recycling. Are there any other council or staff updates, comments, announcements? No. All right, sweet. So with that, I will call for a motion to adjourn.
so moved.
All right, we got a first, second, and all in favor? And it is officially 7:32, so we adjourn at 7:32. Thanks, everybody.
Wow. And we're
I
even
was
in
unaware
person.
that
How about it?